Back at it again with another one. So I got a treat for you. This MC right here stays busy, always active. Lately, you know, he's been doing a lot of writing, but not necessarily as much with lyrics. He's been doing writing with something else, or writing for something else. So he's going to talk about that. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in, and we're going to get started with this interview. I have Cymarshall Law.
Hey, yo. Day. Cymarshall Law on BookZombie, don't come fit play. Yo, what up, y'all? Peace, what's going on?
Yo.
Boy, New Jersey in the building. What up?
Hey, good to talk to you once again, man.
It's good to be here, man. I appreciate being able to be on your platform. Wonderful platform that you have.
Man, that hoodie is fire. You got some classic albums on there.
You know it.
36 Chambers, Midnight Marauders, Doggy Style, Return of the Boom Bap, and 93 Till Infinity. People, if y'all watching this interview, leave in the comments which one you think is your favorite album. As an artist, sometimes, worlds are kind of entered by choice. And then sometimes, the worlds kind of summon us in. So when it comes to your creative process, do you feel like you're stepping into that world, or do you feel like you're being called into it?
I feel like I'm being called into it. I like the way you put that. I feel like I'm being called into it, but I also feel like I was already in it because I've been a storyteller. My favorite subject was always English in school, so I've always been writing stories. I have a million storytelling hip hop songs, probably more than the average Joe, more than the average Bear. A lot of storytelling songs.
When you creating in that kind of space, what kind of conversations are going on in your head? Like when you pondering ideas, especially with something like, your latest book.
The ideas are, what do I say and what do I do to be meaningful so that one day, hopefully I'm here for a long time, but let me find some words to not find. Well, one day, the only constant is change. So one day, your boy, none of us will be here. So I think about when that happens, what have I done here that is meaningful, that means something? So when I'm gone, I actually can say I made the world a better place beyond like leaving things that I made to make myself better. Like, because a lot of things I did, for myself, which ended up helping other people, like my music. But sometimes you think about things and you try to think about it from a different perspective, as how can you serve the rest of the world? I mean, I do, as opposed to how can I serve myself? So I started thinking like that, and I'm like, yo, how can, when I'm gone, what have I done to actually help other people, push other people forward? And although, a lot of my music probably did help people, when I made it, I was making that music for me, if I'm being honest. I always make music for me. Like, I never think about other people first, but sometimes I do. So when I made these books, I was thinking about how can I take from my own identity to help other people in a way that is genuine to me. Like, everyone can help people, but I feel like everyone's an individual. So the way you can help someone book zombie is going to be a little bit different from the way I can help people, because we're just not the same people. So my thought was, how can I use my specific identity and help people in ways that other people probably couldn't, so that it's my legacy that I'm leaving behind. Like something that people like, yo, only Cymar could have done that specifically. So the story I told came from my heart. It's very specific to me. So when you read the book, you gotta read it and be like, yo, only Cymar could have told this specific story. Because although there are a lot of like Jamaican immigrants to America or English immigrants to America, none of them had my dad or my mom or my brother or my sister. Like everyone is an individual. So I wanted to tell my individual story to help people.
Every time you talk about this book, man, you got this look like you won the championship. Like you just hit that game winning shot, you know?
That's how I feel. That's how your word is born. That's how I feel. And no one can take that from me because it's coming from inside. Because I know that I did something that it took a lot. Like I had to draw from inside of me, and it was scary, and it was humbling, and I had to be brave, and I had to use a lot of heart. I had to use a lot of brain. I had to use a lot of time. I had to use a lot of money. I had to work a lot when no one was looking. I had to be prepared for the worst, which is scary. But I feel like that's when the greatest things are made. And I know I'm so happy because it worked. It worked. It worked. When you shoot in the dark, sometimes you don't know if it's gonna work, but you gotta shoot in the dark sometimes. I think that's what life is about. And like I don't know where this will lead. Hopefully, like wonderful, great things happen. But I know I left the legacy. I know I did it, and that's why I'm happy as hell. Because no matter what happens from here, it's here. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. It's here. He did it. So yeah, I'm happy as hell.
So my first question about the book is, when readers they encounter this book, like what's the first thing that you think that they are gonna understand about themselves?
Hopefully it's to not beat around the bush, that we're gods. We're unlimited. There's literally nothing we can do. It's something that's very clear that I'm saying, but it's something that has been so difficult for sometimes myself. I don't want to just say other people, but like we're responsible. Like we can do it all. We're accountable. Like the good, the bad, the ugly. Like we are the creators. Like I try to say this in so many different ways with my music. We're responsible. We are the creators. I mean, at the end of the day, all praise due. God is the greatest, and the energy is the reason for all the greatest things, all the things. But we have the will to create anything, good, bad, ugly, whatever you want. And what I want people to take is that, like, you are the creator. Like, you got this. Like, it's on you. Like, the creator is so great that there's not one thing. Like, you're not destined for one thing. You're destined for everything. Anything you can think of, you can create. And when you take accountability, when you're honest, when you take responsibility, you can get further, faster. And there's just nothing you can do, nothing you can't do. And I was, for a long time, I was trying to show people that through my music, but because music is very specific to like the listener, like you might like it, you might not like it. It's hip hop. Some people might not listen to hip hop. I wanted my message to like be able to hit a broader audience, just in case people never listen to Cymarshall Law music. So it's like, how could I do that? And I'm trying to hit people through every avenue, because even if you're wearing my logo, if you're wearing my clothing, my logo means to not conform. My logo means that you are unlimited right there. So you can't conform because you're unlimited. That's what Cyvision means. That is the Cyvision, if you ever, wondered. So whether I'm saying that message through my clothing or through my books, I'm saying, or through my music, or through hopefully movies one day, the message is that you're unlimited, dog. Like, my best days come when I take responsibility and accountability for everything in my life. Sometimes things are not the greatest. I don't want to appear as someone who always has everything together. Some days things are not the greatest. Sometimes there's things that are not perfect. But my best days come when I'm able to stop. That's why I try to, meditate as much as I can, because then things are clearer. And then I'm able to see like what I have to do with this situation. How did I help bring this about? How could I have changed my frequency to bring about a different situation? Like, what did I do? Like, I'm the creator. Like, so a lot of people, things happen and they point to blame and they never take responsibility of what they created from their own perceptions, because a lot of things happen and me and you might see the same situation differently, so we might create two different realities, and you're literally seeing something different and I'm literally seeing something different, but we're looking at the same thing. So it's neither of our faults. We're just living in different realities. So it's like everything exists. So that what I'm saying is a possibility, because everything exists. How could everything exist and then me and you always have the same perspective? The only way everything could exist is everyone have a fucking different perspective. So that means everything is going on at the same time. So then everyone has to have a different reality. So we're all living in this world, and it appears that it's like one thing, but it's not. There's like so many different frequencies and layers and dimensions, and we're just seeing one, but it's all different. And that's where people get into like beefs, because they start acting like it's just one thing, and it's not.
I love how in the book you have quotes at the beginning of every chapter. It's very dope. And one of my favorite ones was in chapter 9, where it says, "When spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion."
The way I did the book, I feel like I when I read it, I was like never tired of reading it. I was patting myself on the back. I was like, "Did you really do this?" Because it's hip hop mixed with like philosophy, mixed with kung fu, mixed with superpowers. But it's like I really took my time. So when you read the book, it's hard to not get something out of it. So the reason I'm super excited is because it's here forever, dog. It's here. So like if you look on my Instagram page, like a lot of people might not be like, clicking like, or like, a lot of people might not be talking about it. But that's another thing that kind of happened to me over the last few months, from the beginning of the year to like now, end of last year to now. I was like, I don't care. It's not that I don't care, because I do care, but I know who I am. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I'm like so excited about this shit. It's like someone who just like rediscovered themselves, because like you're doing all this stuff and then it's like, wait a minute.
It's almost like an end.
Like, it doesn't matter who clicks like. Like, nigga, I am who I am. Like, cut it out. Like, cut it out. Cut it out. And that's even why I've been posting less. I'm like, I might even start posting even less, because I'm like, yo, you cannot stop who I am. Even if I never say anything ever again, like, I am who I am. Like, the other day I saw a list of like top 50 like New Jersey people, and I looked and I wasn't on there. And I was like, the old me would have like felt some type of way inside, but the new me looked at the list and was happy for everyone on there. And I didn't ever think about my own value. And I was like, that's a change, Simon. And I patted myself on the back. Whether I deserve to be on there or not, I looked at it, and then later on in the day, I thought, damn, you never thought about your own value. You never tried to place yourself. You never tried to be like, I deserve to be on the list. And I might have, but the thought, I was proud of myself that the thought didn't cross my brain. Like, I didn't need anything. I went along in my house and like probably mowed my lawn and like, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, yo, not one time did you feel like your value went down because you were on some one person's list. So not to stray away from your question, because I know I kind of stole the interview. Spiders, one spider, or not one spider, a million spiders can tie up a lion. So within me making the book, I tried to help people in mad different ways. And that quote specifically, each chapter I would think of something that could help people. Then I would think of another way someone else might have said it. Then I'll look for like the best way someone else said it. And that quote is what I found. So that's how I started the book, with something from someone else's perspective that might be able to drive my point home as well. And that is a lesson. So let's say the book didn't exist. Every lesson in the book. Oh, so this is a great segue. So every lesson in Legacy of Blight is every lesson in I Still Love Her, and every lesson in 52 Laws of Freedom. Everyone, I've been driving the same shit home. So, and all these lessons came from me personally. So if you read the book and you dig deep, you can be like, yo, Simon, where did this come from in your life? Like, what happened? And that's how you know it came from me, and that specifically. So what that chapter, the 9 wrote, when spider webs unite, they can tie up a line. Ethiopian proverb. That came from my realization in my own life of you can't do everything by yourself. Like, I might be further in this game that we're in. Not might. I would be if I realized I couldn't do everything by myself. If I decided like, yo, I needed a team. If I always had 5 dudes around me, you always see Cymarshall Law by his damn self. And that is probably why he's not further and further. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't have 5 dudes wearing Cymarshall t-shirts behind him. He barely has 1. So that is, it's me alone trying to tie up this lion. And that is probably why I haven't blown to maximum proportion. Not only, that's one of the reasons. So that's just me, that's going back to me being honest and accountable about why things are the way they are.
When you were writing this book, was it totally a personal journey, or did you kind of share the ideas with people as you were going along?
It was pretty personal. I shared ideas only with my family, and it was personal because I was either drawing from my own life or drawing from lives of like my family, because a lot of the things in the book are like parallel to things that happened in my brother's life. So those are personal to me and my family. So it might be things that happen in my son's life. The main character of the book's name is Ty, and that's my oldest son's name. So, as a matter of fact, all the characters in the book are spin-off names of my like nieces and nephews and cousins and things like that, and like sisters and brothers.
Dope.
So they're not exact names, but like Sakira, my sister's name is Sakina. So,
yo, how does it feel to have your son sitting right next to you, reading a book that you created? How does that feel, man?
It's very similar to having your son sit next to you and listen to one of your songs and bop his head and say his words. So it's doubly dope because now my youngest son is doing both at the same time. It's super dope. The greatest.
Cyvision and the Mystical Laws is coming up on the 30th in 10 days. Am I correct?
It is part 1 and part 2.
Okay. You want to tell the people a bit about that book?
Yeah. So in my ponderings of trying to take over the world, in my thoughts of how to serve the world with my legacy, I thought, okay, I have my music, I have my like autobiography type book, I had like the self-help type book. I put the jewels into like a story for like anywhere from like young adults to like anyone can read it. It could be 80 and reading it. But then I was like, how can I give this message to younger people? And then I thought, this is an opportunity, because Dr. Seuss has these books where he's rhyming, but he's not a better MC than me.
Not at all.
So I was like, I can take my rhymes and super simplify them for like little kids. And then the story was easy to make because it was like First of all, I made a children's series, 10 books, and it's about this superhero MC that goes on a journey and he's flying all over the world, and everywhere he flies to, he's a superhero, super MC, and everywhere he flies to, he learns something different from someone from a different culture or a different country. So he might fly to Jamaica and meet a young kid named Arrow, and Arrow teaches him all about, love, and then he might fly to China and meet a girl named Mia, and Mia teaches him all about the spirit. So it's all about, love and motivation and upliftment. But every time he flies to these places, the person drops a jewel on him, and the jewel is actually one of the 52 laws from the book. So I simplified it so that kids would understand it. So I just wrote the same law. So I would have the law, but then I figured out how to say it in a simple rhyming form. And then it was very easy to create the story. It was very natural. And that's another reason why I'm super happy, because it's like, I did it, dog. Like the message I'm trying to convey, the thing I'm trying to get across, I'm not sure where it will end up, but I know I did it. And I know I did something that is very individual to me. Like a lot of people do the same things as other people. Something gets popular, and then a lot of people start doing something, and then because that happens, that thing becomes not really that cool anymore because now everyone's doing it. And so it was important to me for to do something that is me, is mine. Like, it's like, you can't follow this. You can't. And everything that I've done and doing, like, it does. That's why I'm so happy, because I'm like, yo, I did it. Whether people are, like, one day they're gonna look over here, and when they do finally look over here, they're gonna be like, damn, this dude was different than everyone else.
Facts.
And not only was he different, like, he didn't stop, like, he didn't compromise, because like, when I'm looking on my timeline, like, sometimes when I'm like posting my book stuff, it doesn't appear to get like as much attention, but I'm not gonna stop posting it because it's genuine to me. And like, I started my Instagram, and they were like my music fans. So people who are my music fans are seeing like my book stuff, so they're like probably feel kind of funny because they're like, oh, this dude's doing something different. But I feel like that's what life is all about. Like, why do I have to be the same thing all the time? Like, we're creative, and that's what I'm trying to express. I'm not afraid of this. And before, I'm not ashamed to say it, and this has been a whole process of learning. Like, before, I might have wanted to do that feature where like you hide your likes, and I feel like when people are hiding their likes, they're hiding. It's like they don't want people to know that they're not that popular. And everyone's different. I can't say why other people do it, but I know when I was fucking hiding my likes is because I was trying to like hide who was like if I only had a little bit of likes, I didn't want people to see that I had a little bit of likes. And that was something coming from like low confidence or low self-esteem. So it was like, I had to look at all these things like, yo, dog, you are that ninja. Like, it doesn't matter if one person, like, and I do not give it, like, that's why I'm like putting anything up there, because I'm like, yo, if you actually look at the things I'm putting up there, nobody's doing nothing like that. Like, it doesn't matter if 3 people like it, because the shit on my page you can only get from me. Like, and it has to be like, yo, this brother's doing like him. Like, and he don't care. So, and that's something I'm very happy to have other people discover along their own journey, and I feel like that's one of the reasons I'm here for. So I'm just super happy about that. So sorry to keep stealing the interview, but to come back to the kids' books is just saying all these messages that I'm saying to you in a kid's way, because these kids, the babies, need stories too. They need guidance. And when I look around, for lack of a better word, it looks dangerous as far as society and what these kids are consuming. Because whether it's YouTube or Roblox or going to school and the things that they're hearing from the other kids, like, there's a lot of things going on that can hurt our babies. Left, right, front, center, everywhere we go. So I was thinking, what can I do to help? And that's the biggest thing, because big dog, there's been so many destructive, negative things that's happened in the world since the last time I've talked to you. And as an artist, you see that person behind me? You know who that is, right?
I was going to ask about it. Who is that?
Nina Simone.
Okay, yeah.
So Nina said an artist's job is to talk about the times and the things that are going on right now. And that's someone that they'll always look up to. The things that are going on right now are constantly negative and destructive. So I know that when I entertain things that are negative and destructive, it's very easy for me to fall in line with that energy. It's like if you're arguing with someone, you have the negative energy. So if I'm entertaining the argument, I'm carrying this negative. So there's so many like negative and destructive things around. Like if I entertain it for too long, my energy actually starts to go down because it's a negative thing. So me trying to be the peaceful warrior over here meditating every day, I'm like trying to move away from things that are negative. But the danger in that is that there's so much important things going on that it's like, yo, as an artist, like you don't want to be ducking the things that are going on. You're actually supposed to be talking about them. But like I said, if you're entertaining all the negative destruction, your own personal energy comes down. So it's like, what do? And these are things that I have been personally thinking about. And that's where all this shit has come from, because it's like, yo, how can I help? Literally, how can I, like, if I don't want to like be entertaining destructive, negative energy and like, because every 5 minutes someone's saying something about the negative and destructive things that are going on. And I'm not saying they're wrong, but a lot of times people are just saying something and that's all they're doing. And like, it's like they want a pat on the back because they said something about it. And I'm like, motherfucker, but you didn't do anything. Like, oh, this is going on in the Congos or Free Palestine or whatever the fuck you talking about. You said something and it's like, oh, this person is not saying nothing. But you're actually not doing anything except saying it.
Agreed.
And then going back to your bed. So you actually didn't do anything more than the person who's just going like this.
Except entertain them.
Right. And like getting in arguments with people and like negative energy and like everyone's going. So everyone's like, oh yeah, I said something. I argued with 50 people today and I'm cool and I'm better than, bruh. What did you do? What did you do? Besides, I wrote it on my page and then thank you. Did you go over there? Like, what did you do? And I'm not saying you should do anything, but a lot of people are like looking down on people they're just saying not to talk about other people. I'm showing the things that I'm doing, so I'm focusing on the light. If you come to Cymarshall Law's page, the reason you see me in a white t-shirt with a big ass smile on my face in one of my most recent posts, because Cymar is focusing on the light. So that's my legacy. That's what I'm getting across. Like I'm giving you the light. Like Quali said one of my favorite lines, I still show love in the face of hate. Dog, I see like jealousy and envy and all types of nastiness. I see like sometimes people try to like make an issue with you where there's no issue, and I'm like, I'm not falling into any of that stuff. Like I'm not even like posting an indirect meme. Like I used to do that shit. Like someone used to like piss me off and I used to like post like a meme slapping someone indirectly. You know what? I ain't even doing that shit no more. Like you just getting my smiles and my likes and Cymar's at Barnes and Noble.
Facts.
So I'm trying to do that on every level because it is about love. It is about yourself. It is about you. It is about what you put out is what you get back, whether you're an adult or a 6-year-old. So the messages, can it be so also simple? Yes, it can be very simple. A lot of the ideas, can be complicated, but they can also be very simple. So in the children's books, I just wrote them in a way, that children can understand them.
On Undiluted, you brought that rugged, raw 90s approach back again. Like when you create an album like that and you carry a light and things of that nature, how do you transition that energy into a competitive nature when you want to track like someone like a Pace One? Because you got to bring it. I already know it. Or someone like a Planet Asia or Wordsworth.
I want to give credit to Ramson Bad Bones because I write what the beat kind of tells me to write. Like I don't go into, like I might not have any type of specific feeling before I turn the beat on. But if I turn the beat on and the beat is, making my head go like this or making me feel like I want to punch the wall, my verse is probably going to sound like that. So Ransom Bad Bones had a lot of raw, uncut beats, and that's what drew that out of me. And a more specific answer is that I had just got finished writing either Peaceful Warrior 1 or 2. I can't remember where it was, but on a lot of the songs on the album, I using a lot of my brain and my heart time. So on Undiluted, I was tired of doing that. So I just wanted to be as raw and pure as possible. So when I heard the beat, I wasn't thinking much. I was just writing what came down, whatever came down out, and I thought it was really pure, like straight from the spirit to my pen to the booth. So on my other albums, as you can tell, I'd probably think some more. So these ones were just like raw and uncut, and I wanted to make sure that feeling came out before like I even had a chance to edit and change a bar, this, that, and the other. I just wanted to make sure it was raw as hell and have the whole feeling be the same throughout the album.
On that album, what were you refusing to water down? What was Undiluted?
My energy, because like I didn't allow myself to be calm or be poetic. Like I was kind of shoving it down your throat, like everything, like you had no choice. But you didn't really have a choice but to be like, damn, this guy's nice.
Man, if you haven't heard that album, go check that out. Undiluted.
Yeah, it was a specific type of version of me. So there are a lot of versions of me, and I heard this has been, I think, another one of my problems. I don't know if problem is the right word. Problem's probably not the right word. But I heard 38 Special. Shout out to him. 38 Special, one of my favorite MCs right now. And I heard him in an interview the other day. He said something along the lines of when he figured out his lane, that's when he kind of was able to take off. And me personally, I have a lot of lanes. Like I do a lot of things well. I go from A to Z very well. Like I can do a song with KRS-One or Sticky Fingers in a heartbeat and sound like me. And I know a lot of people can't do that. And I always felt that was to my credit, and I would pat myself on the back with that. I heard Ari Spears saying it a different way the other day. He was like, it's like the X Factor gene. That you can be in this room and be yourself, and in this room and be yourself. And that's a superpower because some people can't do that. They either have to be this person or that person. But because I grew up in the hood, but my parents was intelligent, I have both sides of me going on at the same time. So, damn, what was the question? I'm staring off.
Bro, I got another question for you. How about this? So when you were creating this album, because it sounds like it was instinct. You was just in your bag on some hip hop, cypher, you took it back to the essence.
Yeah.
When you created it, was there anything that you learned about yourself? Or was this just in the moment, you just let it go?
Anything that's a great question. Anything that I learned about myself. More remembered. More, I would say, remembered about myself. Um, because that's how I would do it when I was young and 16. So sometimes people ask me like, "How come you're?" And I'm not just saying this. Sometimes they'll be like, "Yo, how come you're still raw on the mic?" They'll be like, "Yo, I remember you from back in the day. And when I hear your stuff now, when I see you on stage, you still have the energy and you're still raw. How are you able to do that?" And I tell people, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like that shit, I just do it. Like I don't know anything else. So when I made that type of album and the beats were like that, I just remembered that I could be like that for a whole album, for the whole time. It's nothing for me to do that. It's nothing for me to turn that shit on. Um, and some people might forget. I know some rappers that were raw in the beginning of their career and lost their bite towards the middle and have lost it now. I will not name any names, but I'm thinking about specific people. And I realized my bite is not going anywhere.
But with Anno 1981, let's compare those albums. Now, on that album, is it a little bit more personal?
Anno 1981?
Yes, sir.
Only because I know Frankie from the Beatniks. I've made like 4 or 5 albums with Frankie from the Beatniks. So I know him better than I knew Ramps and Bad Bones, but only like that. Only on that level. But as far as like lyrically, no, it's not more personal on that level. I use some of the same formula. I'm thinking of the songs on there. No, it's not more personal. And on the rhymes on it, no, it's not more personal.
What talk about the title? Because it's inviting. It makes you wonder.
So me and Frankie were Anno means the year of in I believe Latin. Me and
Okay.
Frankie were both born in 1981, so we always had that common bond. And so the project is not like a topic project. There is one song on it called 1981 where I have a lot of 1981 references. I talk about everything that happened in 1981. But for the most part, the whole project is not about 1981. I might have like some punchlines here and there that reference back in the day, but really it's just me and Frankie came from that hip hop era together. Not that hip hop era together. We were born in that year at the same time, and we became hip hop at the same time, and we kind of represent the same things from 2 different countries. He's from Sweden. I was raised in New Jersey. And so it's like the year of 1981, this is what it produced. Like now we're in 2026 and this is where we're at. Yeah.
You just put out not too long ago. It was the instrumental album for Echo Chamber, correct? Yeah. What's up with that instrumental album? You know, being that the original one came out a while ago.
So the original album came out in 2024. I think it was in April. That is one of my favorite produced albums. The beats on a banging, just banging. And it was Slim's idea to put out the instrumental album. I think it was a good idea. I just feel like whether it's MCs out there that can rap to it or like DJs that can play it on their mix shows behind them talking, we just felt it was a good way to extend the legacy, get it out there. So
when you are performing and you post reels, you really give it your all.
So I'm of Jamaican descent. Both my parents born in Kingston, Jamaica. And when I see reggae artists on stage, I grew up watching the Sunsplash and all types of reggae concerts. We even went to a couple when I was a kid. And the reggae artists are full of energy and they're full of spirit, and they really give it to you on stage. So that's all I ever knew. So when I got on stage, I was admittedly thinking about that. I thought that's how things were supposed to be. And I never stopped. And then I did catch wind of people like KRS-One and Busta Rhymes, and they were my favorite shows. When I've seen both of them perform live, and they are my favorite shows. So if I can represent hip hop in any way, I feel like the way to show who I am. My parents are Jamaican. I'm of Jamaican descent, and I think KRS-One and Busta Rhymes also have West Indian roots. So I think that's probably why they go on like the way they go on like down stage as well. So it's just me giving my raw self-expression on stage. It's me being undiluted. It's me not filtering myself in any way. Being on stage is one of the most freeing experiences. So when I'm up there, I'm gonna be myself. But if you ever wanted to know the truth, ask me on stage when I have the mic in my face or in my hand. Ask me when I'm pouring down sweat and when I have the mic in my hand. But yeah, I just try to give myself the raw.
Now, the reaction you get, is that kind of what drives it sometimes?
Absolutely not. Not even a little bit. It's from me. It's all from me. It's from me. It's who I am. I performed in front of, 5 people, and I performed in front of 10,000 people and gave the same exact thing. And you can ask every promoter that I've ever rocked for.
Where's your favorite place to perform abroad?
I can't say I have one favorite place to perform abroad, but I've had really fantastic shows I've had a lot of great shows in Sweden. I've had a lot of great shows in Holland. I had a show in Utrecht in Holland. It's on the internet. I can't remember when it was, but it's on the internet. There had to have been like 10,000 people in front of me. It's called, was it Raw Fest? No, it wasn't Raw Fest. It was a show. It was a festival in Utrecht in Netherlands. But that show, one of my favorite shows. I love performing there. The people, I got off stage and was signing autographs, front row. The guy was like, "Cymarshall Law, stop signing autographs. Other people have to perform."
Wow.
Yeah, shout out to Utrecht, Holland.
Yo, when was the last show that you had?
It was a couple months ago in Innsbruck, Austria. And right before, I had a show the day before that or 2 days before that in Zurich, Switzerland. And it was with Bahamadia along with some other people. DJ Eclipse, who's rocking with Bahamadia. Shout out to DJ Eclipse.
Yo, that's crazy, man. Bahamadia.
Where she be? It was my first time in Switzerland. I had been to Austria before, but that was my first time in Switzerland this April.
When I'm looking at that hoodie, man, you those albums are basically 5 of my favorite albums. So I want to ask you, what are the most inspiring albums in hip hop that you've heard that you could say affected your music?
Sure, I can answer that. Before I answer that, I'm going to plug this hoodie. You can get it at Cyvision.online. If I had to pick 5 albums off the top of my head, the 5 albums I would choose are, and these are random, they might not be accurate. The Roots, Illadelph Half-Life, the Fugees, The Score, Salad Law's album, their first album, don't tell me the name of the album, Realms of Reality, Black on Both Sides, and Muddy Waters, Ferdinand Muddy Waters. Hey, yo.
Got a lot of Jersey.
Yo.
Got a lot of Jersey in there.
Those are 5. Yeah. That's 5, right?
Indeed. What's the state of Jersey hip hop right now that you're seeing, and how has it evolved? Let's say in the just last 10 years.
You know what? I don't know if it's a terrible answer, it's an honest answer, but I'm not sure, bro. I am not sure. I'm not sure. I, I wish that I could say. I know like there's a lot of newer New Jersey artists, but I'm not familiar with a lot of them. I'm sure they're a dope artist. That's never a question because I feel like New Jersey is always in top form in any category. So I'm sure the artists are dope, but like the newer artists, I'm not really familiar with a lot of them, to be honest with you. And that's how I know it might be my time to go.
No.
No, I don't know if it's my time to go, but like back in the day, if you would have asked me this question, I knew MCs and rappers around me. Like, you know how you know all the stats on the back of like baseball or comic book cards? I was that guy. So like the artists, like the newer artists that came out in the last like 10 years, 10, 15 years, like I'm not familiar. And I haven't been, I haven't really been looking. Like my, you know, I have kids, luckily, but I think my kids listen to music from all over. I don't think it's specific to New Jersey. Um, like my son, my oldest son, like he every once in a while, one of his friends might be an MC and he might show me their YouTube video, but like no one who's like super big that I'm saying like I'm a follower of. So I don't know. If you know some people, I'm open to listening.
How can they get in contact with you?
Well, if they can't find me, I don't want them to, because how can you not find someone in 2026?
Politically correct question, you know.
But you know, they can DM me on Instagram or after that answer, no one DMing me.
Got you, especially nowadays, right?
But I know, right? But yeah, they know how to find it.
You know, now with so many platforms, one of the reasons I like to ask that question is because there's so many platforms and artists have preferences of how they would like to be contacted.
No, my preference is like not any of the platforms. My preference is, you know what? You know who I love? One of my favorite artists in the game. Shout out to my boy, homeboy Sandman.
Okay, shout out Sandman.
Sandman doesn't really do online, and he don't do online because there's a lot of all the BS we see online. He just is not up for it, and I love him for that because I'm not up for it either. And it's like in this industry, in this game, you have to like play the game, or no, you matter of fact, you don't have to do anything, but the game makes you feel like you have to do stuff, and that's like what I'm aiming to get away from as much as I can, because I'm not going to allow anything to tell me what I have to do to validate me. Like, I don't want to have to be on Instagram or else. Like, nah, dog, like, we're not doing that anymore. Like, I'm not, like, going forward, that will be the change you see in Cymar more and more and more and more and more, is that I might be on Instagram less because I don't want to be on Instagram every 5 minutes. I just don't want to be. Like, I don't want to be. I literally don't want to be. Like, I see people doing things on Instagram, and now sometimes it feels as though they're doing them, I don't want to say against their will, but it's like they're putting on a show now. Like, you know, you might start doing something and someone does it and it becomes cool, like I was saying earlier, but then a lot of people start doing it, and then as it goes on and on and on, now it's like you shucking and jiving for the people. Because every 5 minutes, and I swear to you, no shots of anyone, because do what you're doing. And it's hard because everyone wants to like do what they're doing, and you're like polling for position. But every 5 minutes, you know, I was going to be specific. I'm not going to be specific because I don't want anyone to think I'm taking shots at them. But a lot of people do the same things, and it's very, it becomes very unoriginal. It becomes very, whose light is that? Is that your light or the other person's light? And the internet will put you in that place without you even knowing it. You look up and you're just doing this thing and you're like, damn, I didn't sign up for this, but everyone else is doing it. And it's like, I don't want to do that no more. I succeeded. I'm valuable. And that's why you keep seeing me smiling and happy as hell, because it's the realization of that. Like, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to do that anymore. I heard, that's how you know I've grown, because the thing that was about to come out of my mouth doesn't have to come out of my mouth, and it doesn't have to, but people just think they have to do stuff. And part of my legacy, part of life is saying you can be yourself, be your own light. You don't have to do anything what people are saying. You don't have to. So like me right now being like, I don't have to want to be on, I don't have to be. Like, no one's forcing me to. But society will make you think that you have to. You don't have to do anything. You're valuable no matter what. You are enough no matter what. And the world will make you think you are not enough if you don't follow what everyone else is doing. And that's what all this stuff is about. Everything that I'm doing, that's what it's about.
Facts. You know, and everybody can't do what you do. And I'm thankful to be a witness and a recipient of the work that you put out, because I learn a lot and it helps me. And it comes at a cost sometimes. One of the quotes that I would like to kind of end it off with, and I want you to kind of just elaborate with, is in the book, it says, prophecy doesn't reward peace, it tests it. So can you just elaborate on that a bit?
Yeah, I can. And it's something that when you are striving to be better, or striving for more, to be the best version of yourself, you get tested with all the time. So another way to say this is that I heard someone say the other day, when you pray to God for strength, does he send you muscles or does he send you a way to grow muscles? And that's the same way of saying what I'm saying right there, just in a different way. So when you're striving for peace, you're gonna come up against a lot of things that disturb your peace. But life is not about what's going on, it's about what goes on after that. So the things are gonna come to test your peace, but it's not about the things that come, it's about what you do after that. It's always about what you do after that. Always about what you do after that. So as you're looking for peace in whatever way that peace suits you, you're going to find things that, like, no matter what, you pray for strength. You know what I'm saying? You don't just pop up with muscles. You pray for peace. You don't just become peaceful. Something happens that, something always happens, but it's who are you going to be? Who are you? So it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Especially if you're praying for it to happen, because the universe has to see, are you really who you say you are? So when it shows you the opposite of you, are you going to jump on board with that? Or are you going to look at that thing in your face and be like, that's not who I am. I don't have to be that. And that's what that quote is about. Because we don't have to be that. We don't have to be Instagram. We don't have that. It's literally what we're talking about now. How do you get your peace? You know what your peace is. So you have these things, and it's like, the storm is fucking Instagram. That's just another way of saying it. This thing you can say in mad different ways, but you're going to see the thing that you don't want. And when it comes, you're going to choose yourself. And that's what this whole thing is about, choosing yourself.